The next thing was just a basic inconsistency about the parking on the application materials. From what I saw, and this has to do with changes from the current site plan that's regulating the site. The 1994 site plan had 14 parking spaces. The EAF says that there are 10 spaces existing on the site. The existing conditions plan shows what I could tell 20 spaces, but they're sort of irregular shapes, so I'm not really sure. And I don't think it actually looks like that anymore if you went out to the site right now, so I'm not really sure what really exists right now. And then proposed is 13 spaces. So it's just clarity of what exists, what is approved, what is being proposed. And to let you know, the new code does give the planning board more flexibility in assessing what's the appropriate number of spaces on the site. The code has a provisional calculation that says it is four spaces per 1,000 square feet of retail area, and that's what's given. The 13 parking spaces equals that 4 spaces per 1,000 square feet. However, that's only the retail area. I don't know if that takes into account the new employees that are going to be working there. Maybe you don't need that many cars for that retail purpose. So just a justification might be warranted to why this many spaces beyond just that blanket statement, because the code lets that happen and gives you the prerogative for that. Then on EAF, the question about the traffic generation, it says, will the proposed action result in generation of traffic above present levels? And this is something that was with the traffic letter report that was given last time. It's the comparison was given between the two different uses, the car wash as opposed to the oil use. But what the EAF is actually asking is present level to future level. So I think that should be clarified. And then in that traffic report or the letter report, it is quantified. It says that it's 13% increase over the existing conditions. So I would just change that answer on the EAF form to say that, yes, it is increasing. And then again, that accident report, I'm sure to their knowledge, there's no accident reports as they've sworn by oath. And then, we saw these 2 accident reports. There might be others out there. You might want to ask for them to do an analysis of the past 3 years to, ask to FOIL information about any accident reports that might have happened over that time.
You left out one important word where you quoted a thing that says that if the existing capacity is sufficient to, and I'm sorry, reading the wrong one. Will the proposed action result in the generation of traffic? I think you missed the word significantly above present level. It's an important word for the sentence.
I could appreciate that, but 13%, while you might say that it's not significant, I don't see as it insignificant, and I thought I wrote exactly what it said, but let me look at it.
I think we can do something with regard to shortening the walk, the handicap access. We could do something with some bollards that would also probably help protect people at the ice machine, or whether that's the gas change, I don't remember which is which. We could stripe the building, we could stripe the parking lot all the way through down to the other side. We could put a stop sign. We could put a stop line for traffic coming around the building so that somebody wasn't walking out into it. We could do all of those things.
Could you just speak to the issue, just so I can understand it? I think you said previously that patrons that are going to use the oil change base, they're not going to be allowed in the building. They're going to exit the car from the rear.
Right.
where physically can they get access to the building? If they're not-
There is a back door that they can go in, wasn't being planned to be used for security reasons, but we will discuss that. I don't think there's a place to put a sidewalk or anything.
I'm just
around
saying
the
that, that they're not gonna be coming out of the front of the oil change area to begin with, right?
They're gonna have to make their way around and probably through the convenience store.
I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah.
So maybe the board would wish to see that, and access to the
Okay, we can put that,
retail space,
we can demonstrate how we'll do that.
because they're not gonna be in the front of the building to begin with, unless they're called
We're
out.
gonna have to come around the building, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
They gotta walk from the back to come in front. The only security reason, that is the reason we didn't wanna put the door in the back, because anybody can come from the back door to do.
All right, so you don't wish to use that for access? Okay.
We'll figure that out and we'll
Okay.
demonstrate that. We'll figure that out.
Can I ask a question, Glenn?
Yes.
What if, the point at which they had to exit their car was at that north corner of the building in the back, so that they only have to walk along that one stretch there instead of weaving their way around? Would that solve your?
It might. I hadn't thought about it that way, but we'll look at that, definitely. I don't know if it'll work or not. I mean, it's just a matter of, there'll be a little more running for the fellas that are moving the car. As far as if you want us to paint another arrow or something in here that's fine. But to be perfectly frank, that curbing is not on our property. That curbing has been the result of conversations. This board passed it without making them correct anything 2 months ago, while we were here, very next on the agenda. To burden us with that problem that that they created, is just, and when you had the opportunity to address it, I don't care what the circumstance of that thing where you had the opportunity, it's just not possible for us to do that. It's not fair for us to do that. We can't work on somebody else's property. We want some arrows showing two-way traffic, fine, no problem. But we're just not in a position.
Well, I don't think we're asking you to do anything by curbing or working on other people's property. I just would like to see it on this drawing, that you know what's going to happen down there, so you know where the opening is happening, so you know where the cars might be coming in. So it's simply a graphic, and then you're able to plan better for your own site.
We'll be happy to do that.
Okay.
I don't understand what the point of a study of that intersection is at this point. We have testimony that there's been no accidents there. The accident happened down here by somebody making, let's face it, they did something dumb. They drove onto the west side of the thing and they backed across Route 9. Even if the other person was at fault, not paying attention, but we're doing everything we can to relieve that. This is a 6-month ordeal, foiling this.
Well, I don't think that. I think it's not a question of the traffic accidents there. It's or an analysis of the whole intersection. It's a question of, have there been traffic accidents in the past 3 years, and what have they been? Have they been on-site? Have they been off-site? And maybe it's something the owner didn't know because the manager didn't tell the owner about it, and they weren't watching every accident that happened on site. I don't know, but just the fact that you have 2 accident reports in the past months and none over the past 3 years is.
They weren't at the intersection.
No. I'm saying on site. I'm saying to understand what's going on. Traffic accident-wise, like the current situation. We're trying to assess what's going to happen when there's a little more traffic. So part of that is understanding what is the current situation as well. So I would want to know that information.
Yes, Marilyn.
Regarding your ideas, I'm not objecting to it, I'm just saying that it might be skewed somewhat by the fact that that stoplight has been recently installed.
Mhm.
A lot more accidents just because of the left area
Right.
and like that. And so it could really influence study.
Mm-hmm.
But I also wanted to respond to your comment about that long walkway.
Mm-hmm.
With traffic coming in, they could be speeding to the back to do their oil change and inadvertently. I've seen others very small little shopping mall like setups where they put stop signs at every little corner or every little turn, and they're not really like a legal dot stop sign you sort of set up, but it does really slow traffic on the site, and you
Right.
can put a stop sign there to, when people come in, it might keep people inadvertently going around back that weren't going for a
Right.
lane change, but it also helps slow down that traffic going across that crosswalk, so that pedestrians wouldn't get run over with people in a hurry to go.
Mhm.
We'll address that. I have no problem addressing that. I recognize the concern. And perfectly honest, I just don't know what that's gonna do. We looked at the traffic engineer, our traffic report doesn't suggest, another traffic light or closing anything. He says this is the best thing. I think we should put that to bed.